numbers will come at the bottom grid, and you're going to get the national figure on the top grid. The top grid gives you the national figure of 227. The total number, Jay Amrug is our resident psephologist. He'll explain the overall numbers right now if India were to go to the election and where the BJP stands individually in this. Jay.
Very interesting. The Congress, along with its allies, could be decimated to just 101.
Right. How many allies is that?
It's just 5 of those allies. Okay. You have the RLD, you have the NCP, and a couple of other smaller parties countering to that. So 89 plus those adding to 12 gives 101.
89 to the Congress party individually?
Yes.
How bad is that historically?
Historically, this is the worst performance if it were to be. Traditionally, whenever the Congress has lost an election, one of the geographies, either the south, the east or the west, has supported the Congress.
And in this figure that we are seeing here of 227, 202 is that of the BJP. So there are 25 from the allies. And how does that compare to the BJP's? Is this the best ever performance individually by the BJP in its history?
Yes, this is the best ever performance by the BJP in its history. The best was 1998 when it had 182 with a 25.1% vote share.
Right.
It had the same number in 99, but the vote share was lower.
Now the question everyone's asking is, 227 puts the NDA 45 seats short of the halfway mark. Will they get that? But let's go to 3 states to answer. I have a question which everyone's asking. They're asking you, Jay, that is this the most optimistic scenario for the BJP, NDA, or is this the most pessimistic scenario? Let's go through 3 states and you answer that question.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Should we look at the projections and the patterns of voting, for example, in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar, and let's pick Maharashtra, for example.
Absolutely.
3 big states. And then we'll try and get an answer to that question. Let's pull those graphics out, please, if we can. Let's first look at the graphic there on your screen of Uttar Pradesh with 28 seats. Right? 28 seats.
28% vote share.
28% vote share. And
it's projected to win 34 seats with this 28%.
Right.
The BSP is a tad behind at 25. With that, it's projected to win 21 seats.
Right.
The SP is again a tad behind the BSP at 23.
No, so is this can Mr. Modi do better than this, than 28%?
Yeah. See, the magic about this first past the post system and a state like Uttar Pradesh.
This is the number in UP. For example, what we are seeing, just look at this graph very quickly. This is where Modi gets appointed, right, as the Prime Ministerial candidate somewhere out here. And you see an immediate jump which is going up to 34 seats. 34 is a fantastic performance. The BJP has gone up to about 54, 55 seats in, I think, one of
1998.
In 1998 when Vajpayee was Prime Minister. So there is scope to grow. Far beyond this.
They've got 58 seats.
Right.
57.
So that included Uttarakhand.
57 by 85.
So let's ask Sava. Sava, you think it can grow beyond this?
I do, Arnab. I think there are 2-3 things. UP has given, in the assemblies, they've given fairly decisive verdicts since then, both for Mayawati and for Akhilesh. And the disenchantment with Akhilesh is very abrupt. It's very great over there.
So you think the...
And I want to say one thing about Mr. Modi in Uttar Pradesh, where since May, June, I've been talking about a growth and I've written about it extensively. And is that the old BJP is relevant only up to a point here. Modi in Uttar Pradesh is having that, it's a different thing. Modi in Uttar Pradesh is having the effect of almost a Kejriwal new factor effect in Uttar Pradesh. Because the old BJP is completely finished, completely discredited. So it's very interesting, and there's another condition which is ripe for his growth, is there is a certain level of polarization in Uttar Pradesh also. And that all of that helps Modi, and the level of disenchantment with the Akhilesh government and with Mayawati just some time ago. And I also believe, Arnab, that it's going to be hard, even though logically BSP should do well. The problem is that when the BSP does well, it also got a bit of the upper caste vote, which right now it is not in a position to get.
So let's just go through a couple of other states. We're looking at Uttar Pradesh. So the overall thesis is that this is not an over-optimistic scenario for Mr. Modi. He can actually end up doing much better than that, right? Now let's go across to, which state do we go across to next? Let's go to Bihar, right? Let's pull out the graphic for Bihar and try and understand. Because Bihar, we are projecting here, and Navika and Ashok, I'd like your view on this. What we are projecting here is that with a phenomenal 31% of the vote, the BJP
is projected to win 21 of the 40 Lok Sabha seats.
With 31% of the vote, the BJP gets
21
seats. In other words, the BJP becomes the single largest party,
it's a simple
the biggest party. I don't know whether it can really do much better than that. Now, if I were to plot that on a XY graph to give our viewers a sense, this is around the time that the breakup happens, right? When did the breakup happen? Around September? August, September?
Yes.
The breakup happens around this time for the BJP. And this is the period around October. June. Breakup, one second. Breakup happens around June, I'm sorry. Look at the yellow graph, ladies and gentlemen. Breakup happens around June. Let's move ahead. Around October is the Narendra Modi rally, sometime in October, sometime here. So till this point, very interestingly, the RJD and the BJP lines are almost merging. After this attack, right, Narvekar? After the Gandhi Maidan attack of October 27th, the BJP suddenly shoots up, is sort of plateauing at about 21. And my question is, can the BJP do even better than this? Is my question. Ashok wants to take that or Narvekar?
It can probably do a little better, but not much better. I can't see it going up beyond 23.
But this is not. You don't say this is impractical. You don't think this is
I think this is
over optimistic.
I think two things are happening in Bihar. One, it is clearly becoming a bipolar contest between Modi and Lalu. Between the RJD and the BJP. With Nitish being squeezed out. Second, the BJP gamble that Modi would also get a certain incremental OBC vote in Bihar on the basis of the fact that he is an OBC in his native state, Gujarat, seems to have worked. A certain OBC quotient is coming into the BJP's fold, and that is also hurting Nitish.
That's,
it could be the best case scenario as far as the BJP in Bihar is concerned. In UP, of course, it's not the best case scenario because in UP, the present survey gives only 3 seats lost between 2009 to now to the Samajwadi Party. But after Muzaffarnagar, the revulsion against the Samajwadi Party is much more. And that, I think, is the advantage that the BJP still probably can pick up in the months to come.
But, the state which I found very interesting and intriguing, and, I did say at about 8 o'clock today that in my assessment, anti-incumbency only works against the UPA Congress. Regional parties are not affected, whether it's parties in states or elsewhere. And I found personally Maharashtra very intriguing.
Very intriguing.
Because in Maharashtra, everything went against Uddhav. But you have a good alliance, right? But the level of anti-incumbency despite the alliance, frankly, did surprise me quite a bit. Could you analyze the numbers from Maharashtra where, for the interest of our viewers, Sharad Pawar Congress gets totally wiped out. Raj Thackeray doesn't do well at all. In fact, the Shiv Sena RPI BJP alliance gets 35 out of 48, which I think is a historic verdict if it were to translate. Can you explain what happened?
Absolutely. Very interesting. In Maharashtra, the Congress-NCP alliance has been in power since 1999.
That's right.
It's 15 years. Now, there has been a local opposition leadership as well in the form of the BJP and the Sena. I think what the arrival of Mr. Modi has done is to catalyze the anti-incumbent vote, which was sitting silent, dormant for the last 15 years.
That's right.
Into a huge lead for the Sena-BJP alliance. And that's exactly what has happened. Therefore, even amongst the MNS voters, you find a 93% preference for Mr. Modi as a Prime Minister. And that is producing these huge numbers. This number, the 2 of RPI, will merge into the Sena-BJP tally.
I think they've gone to the XY graph from...
So you have Arnab 15 plus 15, 30 years. To that you add the smaller parties. You add the RPI, you add the Swabhimani Shetkari Sangatna and a smaller party.
When did this alliance come together, the RPI, Shiv Sena, BJP alliance?
Last year, the RPI was formally welcomed into the NDA. It was at the time of Mr. Gadkari's presidency.
But in the last elections of the Rajya Sabha, Athawale was given the seat in Rajya Sabha with support from the BJP.
And you have the cascading impact of that clearly showing out here. So I've just used 3 case studies. Let's go to the national picture overall. And I'd like to say once again, unfortunately, the Congress party has decided to boycott our poll analysis program. Now, I have always held the view that even if the Congress party thoroughly disagrees with our projection that it is going to be reduced to its worst ever performance since independence, they should still participate in the debate. I mean, that's healthy, but they choose not to. That's their wish, but we won't stop the debate. And nevertheless, should we go straight into the national debate? And at this stage, I'd like to welcome, he's just putting on his mic, Yashwant Deshmukh is our pollster from CVoter. And Yashwant, your numbers are controversial. If I were to just ask you to begin this part of the debate, where we have Nirmala Sitharaman, D P Tripathi, and of course our panelists with us, Rahul Narvekar of the Shiv Sena joins us. What is the big national takeaway, in a couple of minutes if you can tell us, from the CVoter Times Now poll of February 2030?
The big national takeaway is that Congress is probably heading for its worst ever performance. It's a Congress meltdown.
Meltdown.
In 1967, 77, 1989, every time the Congress faced a rout in the North India, there was at least one region in the West or in the South which used to save the Congress and gave a kind of a picture which could compensate the loss which was coming from the North. This is the first time, however, that Maharashtra, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, I mean basically the South and the West, and these two regions are not compensating to the loss that the Congress is incurring. This is why it's a complete meltdown kind of situation. Can the Congress resurrect from this place? Yes, this point, certainly. If they can still stitch up the allies in many of the states, they can still come back in the fight.
But what worries me, what worries me greatly, and this is the question I have, what worries me greatly is that the allies of the Congress too have gone down. I mean, RLD reduced to 2 from 5 seats in UP, NCP loses its only seat. In Meghalaya, NCP reduced from 5 to 8 in Maharashtra. A national conference gets reduced. So not just the Congress, anybody who's done business with the Congress,
there is a reason,
is being punished.
Because including their allies.
Except
Mamata Banerjee. So if you leave the Congress,
Mamata Banerjee has distanced herself from the Congress.
And all those allies actually have been in power even in the state. So they are facing the double incumbency in most of the places. So it's actually not really the kind of situation where any political party would like to be.
Just coming to
but 1 year back, when we had started this series of the polls and the surveys, 1 year back, our headline was, Congress is losing, but BJP is not winning. 1 year later, as on today, there is a change in that headline. Congress is losing and BJP is winning.
Let me put a series of straight questions. My first question is, and it goes to Nirmala Sitharaman and D P Tripathi, and Mr. Tripathi, you will have full say in responding. Now, there is an audio delay between us, but despite that, I want to have a full and healthy debate. My first question here today is, do these results prove that Sharad Pawar was right, when he disagreed with this whole secular communal divide? There is this strong attempt that has been built up by the Congress party that the election before or after, this can be a potentially lucrative divide for us. In your view, Nirmala Sitharaman, that fundamental strategy of secular versus Congress seems to be failing, in my view.
Completely, you're right. You are absolutely right. And Congress party, as is usual with them, is trying to resort to that, to bring that onto the center stage of debate. And that's not going to work. Today, the voters are looking for transparent, corruption-free, good leadership, and also opportunities to improve. And that they don't see coming from the Congress table. And therefore, given the fact that they don't have answers on corruption, given the fact that they failed on many of the critical issues like the price rise, I think the debate remains centered on development and development-related issues, opportunities for everybody, and not on communal politics.
Kumar Ketkar is in our studios in Mumbai. Mr. Ketkar? You agree with that?
By and large, I would agree with that. And I would say that Congress is facing disaster very clearly. And 89, I was surprised. I thought they would give something like 80 or less than 80 figure to Congress, which I expected. And in Maharashtra, I think I totally agree with the figures given. It can be 2 more here, 2 more there. I don't think Congress is going to have good performance in Maharashtra at all. It is not just anti-incumbency, it is fatigue against Congress in Maharashtra, including that of the ruling alliance. So I don't think Maharashtra Congress is likely to do better. And nationally, I think I would personally, if I was doing without any survey, any analysis, I would give Congress something like 77 to 82.
No, so Sonia, sorry, excuse me.
So I agree with Jay. And also Yashwant Deshmukh. By and large, I agree with Jay and Yashwant Deshmukh that Congress is facing perhaps history's worst disaster ever.
No, so this whole strategy, Sonia Gandhi says this election will be a battle for the preservation of our age-old secular traditions, etc. I mean, she's got the whole election wrong. She's read the election wrong, hasn't she? I mean, you think she's read the election wrong, Ashok, when she's pushing the line?
There's a larger picture we have to look at. May 27 this year is the 50th anniversary of Pandit Nehru's death, which when it happened was a great tragedy. 50 years after the great man dies, the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty politically faces an existential crisis.
Yeah, but they've not got the... You want to plot an election...
This is their worst performance.
No, it is their worst performance, but are they even in touch with the reality?
Having seen the Congress working from PV Narasimha Rao days onward, I foresee a very dangerous situation for Congress.
What dangerous situation?
That it may split.
It may split.
And the dynasty rule in Congress, the mother, son, daughter, daughter, son, mother, son, daughter will end. Because it is going to be a very disastrous performance. Rahul Gandhi has miserably failed. His balloon has been punctured, and that is going to be the main story.
Can I just say one thing about the secular communal?
My other question was Rahul Gandhi. You see, now this election, Navika, is happening after a total elevation of Rahul Gandhi. There's nothing more that the Congress party can do. After that, this is the result. How much will it weigh on Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi family?
Well, it clearly is an existential crisis because Rahul Gandhi hasn't really been able to measure up to the leadership of Narendra Modi as people see. Yeah. The alternative is there. Now, this is the time that the Congress would also have to think that should they have made a mid-course change?
Yeah. Should they have
removed Manmohan Singh?
There is no
should
time
they
now.
have brought, have they left it to play?
There is no time.
So is it something that they are paying for? Is it something that they are paying for that they did not take a decision on Manmohan Singh earlier?
Let's hear from the NCP. No, let's hear from the NCP. Let the NCP tell us.
What?
About Rahul Gandhi.
What do I say?
Do you feel Rahul Gandhi has failed as a vote catcher
about Rahul
and
Gandhi.
cannot serve as the glue?
No need for that. But if you look at the elections in 5 states recently held, the leadership of the leading political party of UPA, that is the Congress, has to share that responsibility. And I don't think the Congress party leadership has shirked that responsibility. But would you allow me to talk about the survey, or should we discuss only this?
Yeah.
I first ask you.
No, go ahead.
Whether I should talk about
the numbers overall.
I have seen all the numbers, but I am saying it very briefly, 2-3 points. One, since 1989, there is no wave at the national level in elections. And even if you look at the CVoter survey, even if I entirely agree with that survey of Yashwant, who is Yashwant in many ways, anyway, so I would still say that according to this survey, the non-NDA parties are 316, and the NDA is 227. So where is the wave for NDA? They are not even getting a simple majority. If they are not getting a simple majority...
Okay, one minute, very over-optimistic. No. Okay, one second. I'll tell you, D P Tripathi is a very experienced man.
Of course.
And look at his experience. I'm going into a break. He's so experienced that I asked him a question about Rahul Gandhi. And you know why he avoided? Because he knows that Sharad Pawar has refused to work under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. And that's why he avoided the question on Rahul Gandhi. I'll come back. I'll come back and ask you a few more questions. The Shiv Sena is also on with us. We look at the big national picture. Whether the NDA can reach 272, where will it get the 45 seats from? Back in 3 minutes.